This message is for the ladies because what I am about to explain, only a woman will be able to truly understand and relate to, because you're a woman and ultimately you are a lesbian woman, because I will discuss what you see here as the title of my video. One way to know that you are a lesbian. That is the title of my video today. And I do not mean that there's only one way, literally, that determines you are a lesbian. What I mean by this title for this particular video topic is there is a way. There is absolutely at least one way that will help you to know that you are a lesbian. And that does not mean it is exclusively the only way you know that you are a lesbian. So I will proceed with giving you one way to know that you are a lesbian. I am Giselle Wallace, lesbian life coach and author. I provide my lesbian perspective here on my YouTube channel. If that interests you, then please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I want to say that the way that I know one way to know that you are a lesbian is because I'm a lesbian. And I think the best way to know that you are a lesbian is by being a lesbian. And the interesting thing about sexuality and sexual orientation is, for a woman or a female, so you can be a girl, you can be a teenager, you can be an adult woman, you will know that you are a lesbian. Ask me how I know. Because I knew I was a lesbian before the age of 9 years old, which means I was a young girl. You know instinctively who you are. And you might be thinking, oh, I know. You're a lesbian if you only sleep with women. Well, no, that's not necessarily true, because there are lesbians who are virgins. Your sexual orientation is not based upon who you sleep with. Your sexual orientation actually goes much more deeper than who you physically have a sexual encounter with. Sexual orientation is very complex, and it's also very personal. But this is why I wanted to address this topic today, because although who you are sexually attracted to or sexually interested in, or who you've been sexually involved in, does have meaning to who you are, ultimately it doesn't really determine your sexual orientation. And here's why. You don't have to physically have a sexual relationship with another person to know whether or not you are a lesbian. You just know. And then you may be asking, well, how do I know? How do I know? Well, first, I just want to say that being a lesbian, it does mean that you are a female homosexual. And a female homosexual is exclusively interested in women romantically, emotionally, mentally, physically, sexually, and spiritually. So that is the general definition of a female homosexual, aka a lesbian. But you want to know if you're a lesbian. You really want to know if you're a lesbian. You're just wondering, am I a lesbian? Well, first, I just want to say, why would you have to question whether or not you're a lesbian? Well, there's many reasons why you may be wondering if you're a lesbian, but one reason could be because most people think every woman or every child, female child specifically, because from the moment you're conceived in your mother's belly and they find out you're a girl, people have already made plans for your future. They've already determined that you are a heterosexual female. They're thinking about you one day marrying a man. So, because we live in a heteronormative society, people already assume that all women or all females are heterosexual. So you've been programmed to live your life as a heterosexual female. Now, does this mean that all women desire to be heterosexual? No, that doesn't mean that. But this leads into another reason why you may be wondering, am I a lesbian? Is because maybe you hope that you are a lesbian. Like you absolutely do not want to be anything else but a lesbian. Well, even if you hope to be a lesbian, this does not mean that you are a lesbian. You could hope to be many things, but it doesn't mean that you are that very thing. You get my drift? So that's why it's good to be able to know for sure that you are a lesbian. So today, I'm going to give you one way to know that you are a lesbian. And maybe you have a way to know that you are a lesbian. And if you do, please share it with us in the comment section. We all want to know. We all could learn more about being a lesbian. Well, one way to know that you are a lesbian is, I'll let you guess. All right, so you've thought about that one way. So now that you've thought about that one way to know that you are a lesbian, write it down. And if you get the answer that I am about to, let me say that again. If you get the answer that I am about to reveal to you, then give yourself a pat on the back. And you can even comment below and let us know that that's the answer that you wrote down. But if you have another answer, that's completely fine, because you can share what your answer is below. Like I said, there's not one exclusive way to know that you are a lesbian. There's many ways to know that you are a lesbian. All right. So one way to know that you are a lesbian. My answer is, you absolutely cannot imagine living your life as a female or a woman indefinitely without being with a woman. I'll repeat. You are not able to imagine living your life as a female or a woman indefinitely without being with a woman. That's my answer. And I will elaborate. This applies to a woman or a female because you can be of the gender female or the sex of a female, and you can be at any age and know this. Like I say, you can be a young girl, you can be a teenager, you can be an adult woman and know that you are a lesbian. Nobody will have to tell you this. It's truly instinctive. And you might say, well, I'm single. I'm not with a woman and I'm still a lesbian. Well, I'm sure that is true, but keep in mind that this is not the only exclusive way to know that you are a lesbian. But I will elaborate with you on why the one way to know that you are a lesbian is accurate. You have to be a female or a woman who does not have any plans on being celibate. And you also have to be a female or a woman who desires to be in a relationship with a woman. And here is another caveat. You can imagine being with a woman, but you cannot imagine being with a man. I'll repeat. You can imagine being with a woman, but you cannot imagine being with a man. So being with a woman is what you desire, and you desire to be with a woman forever. You want to be in a committed relationship with a woman. And you have no desire to be with a man. You can imagine living your life without a man forever, but you cannot imagine living your life without a woman forever. This is one way to know that you are a lesbian. And you might say, well, I don't want to get married. I want to stay single forever. Well, my answer to you is that is possible, but it's a very rare ability. Usually a person who says, I don't want to be married and I want to be single forever, they have the ability to be without the desire to have any type of sexual relationship. That means they are able to be celibate indefinitely. And this is a person who identifies as asexual. An asexual person has the ability to go without having any type of sexual relationship with a person permanently. They don't have any sexual desire. And this person also may have the ability to not have any desire to be romantically involved with another person. That is someone who is asexual. And that would be to the extreme, where they don't have any desire to have a romantic relationship with another person, and they do not have any desire to have a sexual relationship with another person. And this will be indefinitely. So they have the capability to be celibate forever. That is a very rare quality. That is a sexual orientation. Asexuality is a sexual orientation. And there's not too many people who are asexual. If you are an exclusive asexual person, you would not be able to relate to being even a lesbian because you would not have a desire to be with a woman romantically and or sexually. And being only an asexual person is very rare. Now, I will say that being a asexual lesbian, there are asexual lesbians. Asexual lesbians have the ability to desire to be in a relationship with a woman romantically. They may not have a strong desire to be involved with a woman sexually because they don't have as high of a sex drive as a lesbian person who is not asexual. But true asexuality is very rare. So if you are not asexual and you can imagine, meaning UCAN, you can imagine being with a woman permanently, like you want a long-term, committed, faithful relationship with a woman. You desire to be married to a woman. That's really what marriage is. Marriage is actually the desire to be romantically and sexually partnered with another human being. So that's what marriage is. And if you desire to be married to another woman and you are a woman, but at the same time, you don't have any desire at all to be with a man romantically and or sexually, that is a very great indicator that you are a lesbian. So someone who claims, I want to be single forever, you technically are saying that you are asexual. And that is a very rare person. But if you are not asexual, this means basically that you desire to have a romantic and or sexual relationship with another human being. So that means that you do not have a desire. You don't have a real desire to be single, because being single means that you are not able to be involved with another human being romantically and or sexually for the remainder of your life. If that doesn't apply to you and you are a female or a woman who knows that you want to be with a woman and you desire to have a loving romantic partnership with a woman, you also have desires to be intimately linked to a woman emotionally and or sexually, and you want that type of relationship, woman to woman exclusively, and you do not have any desire to be involved with a man in any form or fashion, meaning you do not desire to be with a man romantically, emotionally, mentally, sexually, or spiritually, then this is one way to know that you are a lesbian. I know that I am a lesbian. How about you? Thank you for listening. I am Giselle Wallace, certified life coach and author. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, like and share the video, and you have a beautiful day.